Hear me? Am I on here? Am I live? Are you with me, people of the night? Let's see here. I have Nine Inch Nails Polite, Amanda Stewart, Aaron Habig, Matthew Hernandez, Her Monster Highness, Kyle Dubs, Jessica Shook, Carol Brown, welcome back. Your absence was noted last week. Wesley Voiles, what is going on? Ever Curious? Stephen Clark, very cool, very cool. I'm sorry I was running a little late, guys. I knew I was running a little late, but didn't know how late I was running. So I'm really sorry about that. So I'm just looking for a message that says you can see and hear me good. Ooh, Nine Inch Nails Polite says, need to refresh. I can hear but not see. Let's see here. Oh, let me turn this off. Well, guys, I don't know how many of you guys were with me last week or have seen the video that I put out last week. Two things I said on there. Talked about my job, and I didn't chicken out. As soon as I got off my stream before Chris and I went on, I sent my boss man a text saying I think I'm ready to retire, and he said he'd love to talk to me. We have briefly discussed some things over the phone, but he has not had time to talk to me all week, so I did work all week, and it wasn't as stressful as normal. I had one bad day. You know, had some more chest pains, but I think that's just something I'm gonna have to adjust to. Ooh, sorry, shaking that. I'm gonna have to adjust to that, getting used to living with this new anxiety disorder that I have. I also said that, you know, my off the wall storytelling, I might retire from that also, but I did get some comments on that video saying you know, no, we like hearing your stories, and got some emails, some good emails of support, and so yeah, man, I think I'm just gonna be me and see where all this goes with the job and with this. But as far as the job, that is the first time I have actually stood up and said there's problems here and I don't know if I can deal with it. So at least I cleared the air a little bit. Don't know. What do you think of this shirt I've got on, man? My daughter made me this long sleeve. You know, I wore that other one last week, and it was kind of the the baseball tee with the gray. This is full blown. I mean, dude, pretty freaking cool. I think looks really good. You can have one too. So let's see here. Yeah, Her Monster Highness says a lot of us live with anxiety. You will work through it. I believe that, and that's what I'm hearing a lot. You know, when you go through it, man, you're like, you feel like nobody can be feeling like this. I mean, I think I'm going crazy. You know, my brain's turning against me, but it's a common thing, evidently. I need to go see a doctor and, you know, unload. But until then, you guys have been great. You guys have been I mean, there's no amount of money I could pay to get what I get from you guys. I see some super chats coming in here. I can't thank you guys enough. John Martin, James, thanks for the live stream. I always look forward to it. I'm glad to hear that. And then Aaron Habig says, James, so excited to hear your pet peeves. I don't know if you are. And then Aaron again, thank you so much. Aaron says, thank you, James. We love you. And I love y'all, and I think y'all know that. But yeah, I just thought about it over the week. I was like, this is another way for these guys to see how screwed up in the head I am. Because these pet peeves of mine, they're more like it's not like something I really like just hate or it causes me to look down on anybody or anything. These are just things I notice that kind of, I don't know, kind of make me cringe or something. So let's see how much we have in common. Carol Brown, look at you. Thank you so much. King James, first of his name, soft of beard, teller of tales, and beautiful of smile. We got you, boo. I believe you, Carol. Thank you so much. I believe I'm in good hands with you guys. I really do. So let's see. Okay, I'll start with I got a little list here. I'll start with one. Eating. I cringe when I'm eating with somebody and they scrape their teeth on the fork. Like, take a bite, and when they pull the fork out, their teeth are dragging on it, and it's like every time. That, how people talk about fingernails on the chalkboard. That's the sound that I get. So now I'm like trapped because you're eating a whole meal with this person and they do it every bite, and you're not going to just say, excuse me, would you mind not scraping your teeth on that? I mean, they're grown. They've been doing it their whole life. I'm not going to tell anybody how to eat. But yeah, that sound my whole life has just drove me crazy. And I think about the enamel on their teeth and how that has to be worn down. And I don't know. My brain works really funny. The other part of eating is I call it smacking, or eating with your mouth not closed. It's like with every bite. I'm talking about adults, and it blows my mind how many adults eat like that. And again, okay, these are my personal observations. So it's not like I want to tell these. So if you're ever around me, you're I better mind my P's and Q's. James hates that. No, it's just I'll still love everybody. I'm just saying these are things that I notice and that drives me insane inside. But let's see here. So if I had to say which bothered me worse, it probably would be the teeth on the fork sound. That sound, it's just a sound. It does not agree with me. So here's another one. This is kind of weird, I think. All right, I'm ritualistic. Okay, when it comes to showering, that whole process of getting together. I mean, getting yourself together. And I think everybody is, I would say. But, like, I do everything in the exact same order every single time. So when you walk, from the moment I turn the water on in the sink, and I'm going to brush my teeth, I'm going to shave, whatever. It all goes down in the same order every time. When I brush my teeth, I know if there was some way to document it, that I've probably done the exact same, brushes every time I brush my teeth. It's a pattern, right? Ritualistic, like I said. Shaving, same thing. Put my shaving cream on the same exact way every time, and then I shave. I actually, shave the same parts of my face in the same order every time. So I assume everybody's the same way. Here's my thing, and I guess this is when you start living with someone, or say you're out, somewhere, and you have to stay at a hotel. Say a crew of guys are out working out of town. You have to stay at a hotel. You start noticing things about people, and I do not understand how someone can, like, I don't know. I dry off in the bathtub before I ever step out onto a towel or any rug in the bathroom or whatever. I dry my whole body, dry my back, right? The old behind the back thing all the way down. And then, I'll dry 1 foot at a time and step out. So I step my dry foot out, turn around, my other foot's up on the tub, dry it off, and then I step down. Because I think there's nothing worse than going into a bathroom and say in your socks or whatever, and you step on that rug and it is drenched from somebody who got out of the tub soaking wet and dried off that way. Now, here's the thing. If there's minimal room, minimal space, I understand. But throw another towel down to catch all that water. And this coincides with that. I cannot understand a human being who puts on a t-shirt and their back's not dry. If you see somebody, I mean, the sight of a shirt clinging to somebody's wet back, that just drives me crazy, man. It's the weirdest thing. I don't understand how you could handle that feeling of putting your shirt on and it's sticking, and you have to stretch it and pull it down because your skin's not dry and smooth. I don't understand that. So anyway, I'm ritualistic about everything I do, and here's another. I guess I'll pose this as a question, because I don't know. I'm sure I'm strange about this. I cannot put on a pair of pants if my socks aren't on first. I can't stand the feeling of a bare foot sliding down through a pair of jeans. I know you guys are thinking I'm nuts. I am. But I have to have my socks on before my pants go on for some reason. I think it's silly to put your feet through your pants and then sit down and have to pull your pants up so you can pull your sock all the way up. Why don't you get your sock taken care of before you slide your foot through the leg of the pants, and then you're done. But it's a lot about feelings for me. I'm weird about textures as far as even when I eat. I like to touch things. Lenny on of Mice and Men, how he just liked to stroke things and the texture of things. I'm like that. I am. So certain textures I like, certain textures I don't like, and certain feelings I don't like, and the feeling of a bare foot going through a whole entire pants leg. Shorts, different story. Pants, that's what I'm talking about. So that's kind of my weird thing right there. I'm not saying that's necessarily a pet peeve. I don't watch somebody get dressed and go, "Oh, you should have put your damn socks on first." I'm just, while I was talking about it, it hit me that I'm weird like that. So, but I would rather somebody get out of the shower soaking wet than to put on a shirt with a wet back. It's kind of like, that saying, you're still wet behind the ears. I really believe that saying means, like kids don't drive behind their ears. You know what I mean? They do what what they see. You know, everything's they're you know, they're missing the details of drying every part of your body because they don't think about behind their ears. I think that's how that saying came about or something. So it's like saying you're still young, you're still wet behind the ears. So I'm the same way about your damn back. I mean, you don't just dry off what you can see in the mirror. You know, you have a whole other side of your body that you know needs to be dried too. So that's my thing on that. All right. This is a weird one. This is just another weird James observation. Say you're standing in line at a grocery store checkout or something, and you know you're forced to look at the person in front of you. You're forced to look at their back, and it's just something that I've never liked is to see a dude who puts on a baseball cap by like throwing it back on their head and then pulling it into place, because that damn jams all the hair on the back of their neck up in the back of their hat, and it's like sticking out the hole, or it's like pulled up in there. And how they can't notice that is so weird to me. I mean, you know, you can put it on the normal way. I could demonstrate, but you know, I'm not doing my hair reveal till Chris does. I've already told all y'all. I got shit to hide up here. But yeah, you know what I'm saying. I mean, it's like I can picture it. They just flop it on, snap it forward. Now, if you got really short hair or a bald head, that doesn't matter. But if you've got hair and I'm standing behind you and I have to see your hair just stretched up in the back of that hat band, that just freaks me out. That's just a weird one, a weird observation of mine. I want to tell them, I do, in a nice way, so I can help them out for the rest of their life. You know, nobody's ever told them, dude, the hat looks good from the front, but you really should see what it looks like from behind. All right, so Her Monster Highness, James, dearest darling, time to see the doctor. No judgment, just do it.
She's obviously nowhere, baby.
Bless my heart. Have I gone that far?
No, that's completely reasonable.
Listen, I told you in the beginning I need to see the doctor, but before I went crazy, that made me cringe every time I saw it. We're all peculiar in our own way. Another pet peeve is and this is probably one that we all share. This one, I don't need to be in the psych ward for this one. Driving, traffic, people who just refuse to use turn signals. And you know, I'm not just saying, I think some people refuse to use them because they're just assholes. All right, they just say, you know, fuck the world. I'm gonna be against every rule in the book, so I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna bow down to this stupid rule of using turn signals. I get that, but then there's other people who think they use them, but they don't. Like, you know, there's blinkers on the front of your car too. Nothing I hate worse than to knowing that I could have gotten out into traffic if only this jackass who's coming towards me making a right turn into the road that I'm sitting on didn't use their turn signal. So I'm assuming they're going straight, so I don't take my chance to jump out into traffic where they could have warned me a long time ago with their turn signal, but they don't do it. So all you people out there, man, people like me who are having a time like Michael Douglas in the movie Falling Down, you might want to start using your damn turn signals properly. So also in traffic, I hate nothing worse than the people who you kind of go out of your way to help them out and let them into traffic when you've seen so many people just not even acknowledge them. They're sitting there dying to get into traffic, and all these people in front of you are not letting them in, and you're like, hey, go ahead, you're the cool guy, you let them into traffic. and they don't acknowledge it. Not even a, or anything, nothing. I don't need a medal. I don't need you to mail me a card. I just, some acknowledgement. That would be pretty cool. Same as holding the door. I'm still a door holder for strangers. I hold the door, open a door for somebody if I see them carrying something, their arms are full, or anything. I gladly will open the door for people. But there are people who just, even without saying thanks, you can just acknowledge it, just an eye contact, a nod, or anything like that. Just be nicer to people, man. Be nice to people who are nice to you. I'm the kind of guy who will stop on the side of the road and get a turtle out of the road. Bless his heart. That's a long trip for him, long dangerous trip. So I'm that kind of guy. I'm gonna help him out. Turtle, he actually looks back and nods. All right, so here's another one. Here's a silly one, but I'm an observer. I notice a lot of things, right? Hold on. You guys crack me up. And this is for you ladies, and this is when you say this, I'm not saying anything. I'm not trying to say anything negative. I'm just saying this is an observation of mine. Because I only imagine, like, if I had to go through what all you guys have to go through. It's tough. It's a tough scenario. I mean, you guys can't just jump straight out of bed and run to the store. It's like society expects you to look a certain way. I understand that. Now, I feel sorry for you in that aspect. But here's the thing. Either wear nail polish or don't wear nail polish. Either or. I like your fingernails just the way they are, ladies. They don't have to be all dolled up, right? But if you choose to doll your nails up and they look great, that's fine. I mean, you like them, that's fine. My thing is that in between, like, where there's just like a little speck where there used to be a polished nail, it's all broken and chipped off and everything. Just take a second to get some, fingernail polish remover and take those specks off. Like, if a lady hands me change at the store, I can't help but notice that. And I'm like, I'm not talking about just like, oh, you get a chip nail polish. You know what I'm talking about. The ones where you've literally had to wear it like this for weeks to wear it down to where it's just a speck. Now, here's the thing. If they're younger than me, I wonder if it's a style. So I don't have any opinion on any of these young girls coming up. Maybe chip nail polish or anything like that. That might be in style, and I'm just too old to know that it's cool. But for the older ladies who are close to my age range, that's the ones that I think just don't wear it. Just don't wear it. I like bare nails. I like them just fine. I think they look fine. So oh, I don't get triggered, Her Monster Highness. I don't get triggered. Nobody would ever know that these thoughts are running through my mind. I just thought I would open up and share some weird, peculiar things about me. So you're going to show up with your hair pulled up in your hat, and your chipped up fingernail polish. And then eat, and then we're going to go out to eat, and you're going to scrape your teeth on the silverware. Here's another one, and it's just an observation. I'm not Howie Mandel by no means. I am not a germaphobe. I grew up in the 70s and 80s when, nobody was paranoid and had to have hand sanitizer all the time. But I do take issue with people who cough and sneeze into their hands and then, start touching shit. I think that's, I don't know, shopping carts, things like that, or they'll pick up, a big sneeze, big loud one, and then go right back to picking up the Blu-ray they were looking at or whatever. I don't get that. I don't know how they were raised. That it's not like I'm, gonna wear one of the. You see people at the airport wearing those masks like surgeons wear. I'm not like that at all. I mean, hell, I'll walk up and shake your hand and not. I have no clue if you just sneezed around the corner before you came up and shook my hand. I'm not paranoid like that, but I'm just saying that's just some things you should think about, consider. And same thing. If you're a nail biter and you bite your nails, that's a bad habit. And you do that, think about all the DNA you're putting all over the merchandise at Walmart. When you go straight from your mouth down to picking up things and putting them back. It's just something to think about. Here's a really weird one. Now you're really going to think I'm crazy. But I can't stand the sight. I was raised, in the era of smoking, where, you could smoke anywhere. You could smoke in any restaurant. There were even ashtrays at hospitals. Smoking wasn't basically outlawed like it is now. So this one's not as much now as it used to be, but when I was younger, I always thought it was really peculiar to see a grown man smoking a 100 cigarette. And if you don't know what I mean by that, 100s are the long cigarettes. And I don't know. I told you it was weird before I even said it. I just always thought that looked really weird to see a man smoking a 100. I don't know. You tell me. Is that weird? Anybody ever thought of that? I'm going to look at some of your comments real quick before I go any further. You guys beat me up pretty bad. I had a conversation one time with a roommate about the sock thing, and he said that there were studies done. I don't remember, about people who put on instead of putting both socks on and then their shoes, they go sock shoe. And I believe he said the people who do that generally have higher IQs, which that's weird to me. I could never do that. I have to have both socks on before I start the whole shoe thing. Let's see. Hermaster had one sock over a leg of my jeans. That's funny, with a turtle. You guys crack me up, man. And I wish we could all hang out. I wish there was a way that we could get everybody to Con of Thrones and we could all get in a room. I wouldn't care if you guys roasted me or not. Okay, Mamma Mia says, it drives me insane when I hear people bitching about someone they were just nice to. Like, bitch, pick a face and wear it. I agree. Let's see. I was hoping some of you guys would put some in here. Oh my God, Kyle Dubs. My pet peeve is when I sit down at a table and it wobbles. Dude, I know you're making a joke about our table, but have you ever been at a restaurant and like took a bunch of napkins and folded them up and stuck them under the thing to keep it from wobbling? Because that is annoying. I hate that so bad. Ooh, Slope says, people who cut their nails at work. I agree. I totally agree. Just the sound of it. The sound of that. It just drives me insane. And I hate, if you're gonna cut your nails, be sure they ring something, or you're like harvesting them as you do it. I don't believe in just click, 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 and pieces flying everywhere, and then you just get up, wipe your pants off, and move on about your day. He wants to step on a toenail or fingernail. Let's see here. Oh my God, my buddy Jimmy. He says, just jumped on. I hope you talk about caps lock. Jimmy's a friend of mine. And I did, I told you guys, I just got a computer, back in like 2000. And, I remember one time I told him, I said, dude, when you get off my, computer, could you please turn the caps lock off? I hate getting on there and start typing and it's all caps. And he has ribbed me about that since then. I mean, it's just crazy. I was triggered by that. That's weird. Okay, let's see. Her Monster Highness, you better not. I see you say you're getting a lot of ammunition here. Yes. Don't do me like that. Please. The immortal words of Tom Petty, don't do me like that. All right, so, okay, let's see. Lord Stephen Janet says both socks on during sex. That's James. Man, I'll tell you what, dude. That's another thing, as far as just a weird thing. I cannot sleep with socks on. Now, sometimes sex just happens. And so you can't have a preference on that, but yeah, I'm not a sock in bed person. I cannot sleep with socks on. Just can't do it. And I know some people are the exact opposite. They have to have their socks on. Let's see. Oh, Jessica Shook, I guess based on what I said earlier, she said, I hate when people use sweet and low packets to steady a table at a restaurant. I worked as a waitress for years, and when I would pull the tables out to clean under them, the packets would bust and go everywhere. Now, I could see that being very, very annoying. I could. Bless your heart on that. Waitresses get it rough. I know they do. And I know people, when I worked at a Pizza Hut, people would like loosen the caps on the salt and the pepper shakers. Oh man. Yeah, that's dirty. They're doing it for the next person to pick it up and cover their piece of pizza or something with salt or pepper, but a lot of times the waitresses are the ones who suffer that. But speaking of a waitress thing, that's another pet peeve of mine, man, is here in the South, we drink sweet tea. We just do. And I do not take lemon in my sweet tea. But it's an epidemic here that if you go order tea, and here you don't have to say sweet tea. You can just say, I'll take a tea. And they know it's sweet, okay? But I have to say no lemon because they want to put a wedge on the side or they want to put it down in there for you. And I don't like my tea that way. So that really bugs me. And then what really bugs me is when they say, when I tell them that, and I say, I'll take a tea, no lemon. And they bring it back with the lemon. And I'll tell them it makes my throat swell shut. If I'm allergic to lemon, shit like that, just to mess with them. But sometimes you can tell that they just remembered right before they got to your table and took it off because you put your mouth on there and the lemon juice is right there. But Now I know. I mean, that's for me. That's not a big deal because a lot of people down here do like lemon. I'm just saying, for me personally, I don't. I think you should request it. You shouldn't have to request for it not to be there. And somebody said something that was Carol Brown. Carol, thank you so much. You said it in the super chat. True story. Woman changed her baby on the tray table on a plane during a flight to Seattle. The smell, oh my God. That is so wrong, man. How could you do that? Oh my God. Yeah. Yeah. And you know, even your own baby's shit stinks. You know? I mean, yeah, you can get through the grossness and everything if it's your own baby, no big deal. But sometimes, I'm telling you, that stuff is wrong. Wrong. You're like, man, all I did was feed you strained peas. How does it smell like that? Let's see here. Okay, so I've just got about 10 more minutes. So, you know, there's some peculiar things about me that I wanted to share with you. And no, it's not. These things don't, you know, dominate my thoughts. It's just stuff that I thought I would point out. And let's see here. Purple Haze, sex is better with lemons. I'm just saying. Yeah, damn it. People are talking sex tonight. I would have sex wearing socks with lemons. Whatever, you know. Oh God. All right, so I think I'll try to end this on a story. I think I owe you that much. Let me think really quick. What would be a cool funny story? All right. I'm a big boxing fan. And you know, prior to the internet, I I couldn't get all my boxing info on the internet like you can today. I would buy boxing magazines, and there's the Ring magazine, Boxing Illustrated, all these different boxing magazines you could buy. Excuse me, I'm really sorry about doing that. Let me touch Chris's mic. Anyway, and I would keep them on the back of the toilet. And whenever I would go do my business, and I learned that from watching my dad when I was a kid. I'm a toilet reader. I can't help it. But I would keep them on the back of the toilet, these boxing magazines. Well, I had a roommate one time who, and again, prior to the internet, when you talk about porn, it wasn't as easily accessible as it is now. So you would have to go to stores and buy a Hustler or Penthouse or what have you. Chic, Cherry, and the list goes on and on. Oh God. But so this roommate of mine had scored from somebody a huge box of porn magazines. This is really cool because you can never have too many of them back then. And so he had just scored this box, and he was home alone. He had that box in the bathroom with him, right? Well, I come home, and the whole way home, I'm thinking about this thing that I had read in one of my boxing magazines, and I was like, wanting to look it up as soon as I got home. Well, I bust in the door and dang it, he's in the bathroom. And I'm like, hey dude, will you hand me that boxing magazine? He, in his mind, thought I said box of magazines. And he's got this new box that I had no idea about, right? So he thought he had been busted, or there was some way that I could see into the bathroom or whatever. But I didn't know that till later that I freaked him out. But I try to put myself in that position, and I thought that was really funny. Hey dude, can you hand me that boxing magazine? And he's like, uh-oh, literally right at his feet, this huge box of, that's kind of one you had to have been there. But I thought I would throw that out there. And one more quick pizza delivering story. I was terribly afraid of dogs my whole life. My mom always said, I don't know why you're like this, son. You never were attacked or anything. But I was really mortified by dogs, honestly. And delivering pizza, I'm talking about big dogs, aggressive dogs, or dogs that have bad reputations. So, anytime I would pull into a driveway, I'm like scoping for these telltale signs of dogs, right? If, say, a garage door is open about this far, well, they're probably leaving it open so their dog can get in and out. Or you look for big bowls, food and water bowls in yards. You look for chewed up toys or something in the yard. Well, this time this night I pulled up to this house, and as I'm walking up to the door, I see that the blinds across the window of the door, are chewed all to pieces. All right. At about a 3.5 foot level, 4 foot level. So I knew it was a big dog that had chewed these blinds. So I knock on the door, and I had this technique where, their door, your door opens in on the house, but the storm door usually opens out. So I would prop my foot right against the bottom. So in case some kid came and just flung the door open, and then this pit bull comes running out because they're not thinking about it attacking anybody. So I was always prepared, right? And pizza delivery guys, they especially back in the day, they wore fanny packs and to keep their change and their money. And so I kept my fanny pack on the side. And so somebody would give me their money. I would pull it out, slide my fanny pack around to the front, unzip it, and I would get their change out, give it to them, zip it up, slide it back to the side. Well, as soon as I knock on this guy's door, I hear, hoo, 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 hoo. And I knew it was a damn big dog. And he opens the door, and I've got my foot propped, like I said, and it's a pit bull. And he's trying to charge to the door around the owner's legs, between his legs. And I'm like, sir, I'm scared of dogs. Could you please, put the dog away or come out here? He's not going to hurt you. And this dog was really, really, really trying to get to me. So I let my foot off the door just a little bit, probably cracked it about that far, and turned his pizza sideways and slid it through the slot, because he refused to put the dog up. So while he's trying to push on the door a little bit to open it up a little more, we're kind of having a little battle with that. I'm watching this dog. So instead of me reaching down and sliding my fanny pack around, I reached down and unzipped my fly right in front of this dude. And he looks at me, and I'm like, oh, I'm so sorry. And I whip my fanny pack around in front just in time, I know he had to see my underwear. I don't know why. It was just my mind going through the motions of you slide, unzip, pull the money out. I missed a step, but I grabbed my zipper and I unzipped it all the way. And anyway, he thought I was a weirdo, I'm sure. I got back to the office. Back to the store, and I told my manager, Sue, a wonderful lady. I said, Sue, I hope you didn't get a call on that last order. She said, why? I said, man, this guy had a dog. He tore my nerves so much that I unzipped my pants right in front of him. And she had the best comeback. She said, well, did you tell him you were a little short on change? That was Sue, if you only knew her. I gave her a hug. The guy never called back in, but he was pissed. And I know he probably told everybody about the pizza delivery dude unzipping his damn pants right in front of him. Don't know why I did that. Just so occupied. So similar scenario, right? I'm ritualistic. I started this video, so this is a good way to bring this full circle. Pull up to a house in my car. I had just got one of my first cell phones. It was a big thing then, to be able to talk and ride down the road. Well, usually pull into a yard. I reach down, put my car in park, right? Leave it running, get out, go to the door. Well, I'm on the phone with this guy, and I'm like, hey, man, I'm at this house. Hold on a second. Reach down, put my phone in the cup holder, get out, go to the door. Knocking on the door. Nobody's coming. I hear a horrible, horrible crash in the garage. And I'm like, oh, my God, what the hell? Did somebody just knock over a china cabinet or something? It's so horrible. And I'm waiting. And a 12-year-old girl opens the door really fast. It's like, did your car just run through my garage? And I'm like, no. And I look over and my fucking car was gone. It had rolled. I guess because I'm ritualistic, same with the zipper, when I reached down with my phone and put it in the cup holder, my mind had went through the motion of putting my car in park. But when I got out, and since I left it in drive, I got out. It didn't roll anywhere because there was a slight incline. But it was hot outside. The AC kicked on, the compressor kicked on. It caused the engine to rev a little bit, and it started my car creeping towards the garage. Well, the garage door was open, so my car was able to get some momentum and go all the way through and roll and hit the back of the garage. It busted the power meter off the back of their house. 3 studs in the wall were broken, and the real bitch of it is now she's home alone, 12 years old, trying to call her mom. Her mom wouldn't answer, and the girl kept calling her mom, and the mom finally answered the phone and was like, I'm telling her, like, ma'am, I'm sorry, I work for Pizza Hut. My car just ran through the back of your garage. I'm sorry, I can't talk right now. I'm in the biggest business meeting of my life. Please call my husband. Click. Call the husband. He's busy. He's I don't know what he's doing. He won't be home for another hour or something. So anyway, all that I damaged was, like what I told you about, knocking the power meter off the back of the house a little bit and breaking the studs. But they had one of those little plastic shelves that they kept by their door, the ones with the 4 little plastic tubes that go in each corner, and you put each piece, and then you can put 4 more tubes and stay. Well, it was one of those, just a little 2-layer one. They put their shoes on there before they went in their house, so that's all I crushed in there. But sure as hell, she said, did your car just run through my garage? And I'm like, no. And I look, and that's how quiet it was, how slowly it crept through their garage. I'm standing there. I could have seen it out of my peripheral and didn't even see it. It ran right through the damn back of the garage. So now I'm torturing myself thinking, what if there would have been like a playpen with a baby in there, or something like somebody babysitting and just chilling in the garage, and the 12-year-old, and she had to, I don't know, all these horrible things, a little kennel with dogs or puppies or something. I mean, it could have been horrible, man, horrible. But it turns out, funny ass story that people still talk about at Pizza Hut to this day. I unzipped my fly and ran through a house, and we're late. I'm bad with time tonight. I'm sorry. I do have to go. I'll tell you my story about getting robbed at Pizza Hut another time. Aaron, a big thank you from the bottom of my heart. It says, James, your stories and humor are so great. Thanks for sharing. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me. I just want to give you a little insight into how much of a lunatic you're getting to be friends with. But it's all in good fun, man. These are just observations of life in general, and a couple funny stories of my life. But thanks for hanging out. I'll see you guys in 2 and 2. Valar Tadias. Fuck. There it is.